Alright guys, welcome back. We got a stack of wood there. I just cut some random 2x4s from some extra pine I had laying around a few weeks ago. They're not the best. They got a few beetle holes in them. But yeah, I was just going through the wood I had. I was like, let me cut this real quick, and it made about 26 studs. So, aside from that, I got some new forks. These are 4,000-pound forks. This machine can only lift about a ton. I mean, it can lift a lot more than that, but before it starts breaking itself, because it's strong enough to, like, you know, rip itself apart, really. So you have to kind of know what you're lifting. I figured get forks that are more than double of what the machine can lift. That way, if I ever get a new machine, I'd probably get a little bit of a stronger one, like a TL140, something in that regard. And those can lift more, so I don't want to have to upgrade my equipment when I get a different machine, if I ever do. But this machine's been rock solid. I really like this machine. It's just my style too, you know, it's all beat up and like scratches everywhere. And yeah, when I back into something, I don't really care because it's not a pretty boy machine. It's just, you know, this gets the job done. So it's got battle wounds, it's got stories. I like it. All right, the plan here, guys, is to frame some walls, put a lean-to roof up there, and I guess we're gonna follow the same height as, see the clearance, the roof line of that door to the top fascia board there, because we want to put a light over top of the door. It's a standard door. It's 36 by 80 that we're gonna get. We got it off Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, drove about an hour to get it and got a metal door for like 75 bucks. So it was totally worth it. So we got our bolts in here. We got our mountain curs wrestling right now. All right, we got our bolts here. We're gonna get our bottom plate in there from cedar, and we'll go from there. All right, let's frame up these walls and see what we can get done today. This is my extra wood from the framing, and this looks like a nice piece of cedar to use for the bottom plate. Let's grab this guy. Wasn't very clean, was it? Small taps. Don't want to screw up the bolts. All right, we're going to use my little trick here. All right, so this one and this one is like quarter inch above this one. Okay, so can't just hit a hammer because there's a little gap here. So what I do, I back off this nut about the difference, and then I reposition where I was based on the marks. Meantime, nice and easy. That's enough to see. See, that's the bolt itself. And that's the mark that the washer makes. So at least it gives you an indication where to drill. All right, let's drill these out. crooked. Ah! Forgot to put the foam plate on first. Better than just tearing it through, I think. Oh. And go. All right. So hey, real quick, I made the bottom and top plates. Oh, cut this. Huh. So this is one of the bottom plates, right, for this wall. And I came along with a spade bit to make sure it sits nice and flat. I don't know of another way to really do that besides like insetting this whole assembly, like put the spade bit into that hole. I don't know, what do you think is better, guys? Doing these holes or having it inset and then you can put a full 2x like that? See what I'm saying? I don't think it makes a difference, but I don't know if there's another way to do it unless you just go through both assemblies, but then you got to watch where your studs are. I don't know. All right, anyway, let's build this wall here. This is for this side. I got all the studs cut for this side. Let's put them together. This is the flattest surface I could come up with. This way. All right, let's see what this looks like. That's cool. Okay, cut that off. right. See that every piece has like a, it's all came from the same part of this tree, and all the ends have this like nasty knot, multiple knots. It's just prone to cracking. Anyway, this wood that I'm cutting right now for these studs, they're just little 2x4s, but number one, it wasn't a very good tree, but I didn't want to just waste it. It's pine, so I can't use it for like even firewood. So I decided to mill it, but even worse, I milled it with a dull blade, and a dull blade is going to really wander around on knotty pine like this. So I'm just trying to make the most of this log and having it. I didn't want to waste it, but something for like a little wall like this, which really isn't holding much weight, I thought would be a good use for it. So okay. Alright, taking a step back. That's going to look cool. I don't think it's too big either, so I would guess the roof line is going to be up to about there. Alright, I made two of these little guys, one for each side. And then we're going to build a little wall up here to go up. I'm going to add some Weathermaster here by Tight Bond. That's the stuff. This stuff is pretty good. Used it on the windows and it seems like it did a really good job. So I'm going to put on a generous amount here, and I'm hoping this is just temporary. Well, that's not my hope. It will be temporary because I don't have any fasteners for this masonry right now, so I'm going to put this on just so I can keep moving today, and then I'm going to come back and probably do fastener here and here on each of them, but this should probably dry in no time. Let's flash it now. Wow, that's not even coming off. Jeez. There we go. A lot of adhesives, you're supposed to pull it off and then reapply it to flash the gas. Okay, cool. All right, it's been 2 days, guys. It rained yesterday all day from that tropical storm. Came up through here. And today, I'm back at it, got the boots on, getting in the mud. It's getting close to muddy season again. So I had to frame this door, or this partial door framing, up inside the shed here. And I wanted to get it outside before it was too heavy. There we go. So all I got left really are the cripple studs up here. So I'll just schedule those out, put them in, and then we'll get this wall mounted up. And this will be the rough opening for the door. And part of that rough opening is below, like through the concrete. So you'll see in a second. I also put this lower board here so when I carry it, it's not like, you know, prying away. It'll stay as one unit, and then I just have screws in there. I'll unscrew it once I get it into place. $16, $17.5, $32, $33.5, and we got our cripple. All right. Now, what's our cripple length? 17 1/8. Same. Good. 17 1/8. All right, let's cut the line. Good. After these two, we can put the wall up. I hate that. I really hate that. How do you overcome that? What's up, Maddie? What are you doing? All right, let's get this guy up there. Okay. Gotta love the added challenge of the mud. Nope. Come on, baby. Okay. Sure. No problem, guys. There we go. Good. Let's clamp that down. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of these nails in and then let's start on the roof rafters. All right, guys, brought up some pipe. That's coming, that's for our solar mounts. Got 14, what are they? 1-inch EMTs. We're gonna be doing a maker pipe rack for our solar system. I got a bunch of, these were just kind of laying down by the mill. They were in the kiln, took them out, and they've just been getting weathered. So I grabbed them off the ground, and so yeah, they're pretty dirty, but it doesn't mean they're bad. Today is the next day. Yesterday I framed up that guy. I framed up the wall and the front door entrance to the root cellar. And what I did today thus far is put on that top plate and that ridge board. I don't know if it's a ridge board or a ledger board or what. That board there across, so we have it spaced correctly with the rafter run. We calculated the rise. Now we're going to cut the lean-to rafters here. So let's get going. Head over to the saw, get these cut up. And just to make a guideline, let's put the pivot point here, right on that mark I made. Come over to the common, which is this group here. Let's go to the 5. That's our 5/12 pitch. Make a line. That'll give us a guideline. But the saw is set to the right angle. Okay. All right, let's figure out if there's a crown. All right, this is going to be up. That means the bird mouth seat is going to be down here. All right, let's measure that off. So this is how I do a bird's mouth. You got to know what your overhang is and get your calculations from there. I actually have a couple notes on my phone here. So right now our angle is going this way. We know the bird's mouth is going to be 10 7/8. From that point, I'm going to have a 10-inch overhang. So we're going to do 7/8 right there. And then we use our little speed square guy again and do our 5/12 angle, which is right there. So I take my speed square and then I come down to it and I look and I slide it along that line until we are at that 3.5-inch mark. So now let's just connect the dots there. Just need a straight edge for this. Alright. Alright, we're going to cut this out with the jigsaw and then we're going to test it up there and make sure that this guy sits nicely, and then we'll make a bunch more of these. Let's see if my math was all right. Holy cow. That is ridiculous. Heck yeah. Wow. I don't know if I got lucky or what. Oh my goodness, guys. It's perfect. I wish I could show you closer. I'm just in, like, they're never perfect, but damn. Okay. Let's see if anything came out of whack. Let's put this at the end of that. Alright, this one is like standing maybe an 1/8 inch higher. Not a big deal. We could just, we'll make it work. There's nothing so different that we would have to modify anything. So, okay, we did one side, we checked the other side. Pretty stinking close. Okay, cool. We got a template. Let's go cut the rest. Here, let's make a template. So I marked here to the end is 3.5. I'm just going to transfer that mark on the side here. You'll see in a second. And then I figured out this dimension. It's a weird dimension, but I figured out this one too. All right, so we got a mark there. And we got a mark at the 3.5. So I did this one already. Let's get a new one. Here's a piece. Okay. So I know it's 10 7/8 from tip to where the bird's mouth begins, just from the rafter design. So come over 10 7/8. You just got to make a mark there. You could grab your square at this point. Once you locate your mark, come over here. It's a 5/12 pitch. So line it up on 5 there with the edge of the board. And you could just make this line should be parallel with your rafter end. And once you have that established, it's just a matter of lining up these lines here. So this one goes to the tip here. And this one goes to the edge of the board. And this is just 90 degrees. And then you're good to go. That one should sit all the way across the 3.5-inch board, which is a 2x4. I made a spacer for the end rafters, and I made a mistake, guys. Look, I cut all of them bird's mouth. I forgot to leave the 2 blank on the ends. So, oh well, you cover it up with trim anyway, but oh well. No need to. Something like that. Yeah, I like it a lot. So we're gonna put on those other 2 rafters after I use that section to scaffold. So cat's out of the bag. I kind of was saving this as a little bonus, but I'm going to be milling some shingles on the sawmill out of Eastern Red Cedar, and they're gonna go up there on the gable section. So we're gonna have shingles on the gable and then board and batten on the side, along with, you know, this structure here too. So, but the good news about shingles, there's not really drying time. I'm just going to put them up after they're cut because the heartwood in cedar is really dry. And this stuff has been laying around on the ground anyway. So I'm after the red stuff. The moisture content's going to be low. I don't have to worry about it drying. And we could just cut them and get right to work. So we'll do all that in one episode next time you're here. So join me. We'll make that jig. We'll cut some shingles. We'll put them up there. Let's get this building looking nice. Thank you as always, guys, and we'll see you then. Did I just pick up my gut to put my tape measure? That's not good. Doesn't want to be friends.